for Spurs, one of their worst performances of the season, losing 3-0. Let's take a look at what that means in the table. As it stands then, they sit 2 points adrift of Aston Villa, who are in action against West Ham tomorrow. Definitely a missed opportunity there for Postecoglou's side. Well, we were focusing, of course, on what was going on between Manchester and Newcastle, but fear not, Frank Leboeuf had a keen eye on this game, Frank, and I suppose the obvious question is, what on earth happened to Spurs?
That's a very good question. You know, after their fantastic win against Aston Villa last week, we all were expecting, you know, something very good and what we call consistency, and nothing happened. I mean, from the start, from the beginning, Fulham were the best team. Spurs only existed maybe for 10 minutes between the 20s and the 30s minutes, but after that was all. They tried after the 3-0. There are some chances. Werner missed a big chance, but otherwise it was all Fulham, all a fantastic team who showed how to attack, where normally we are expecting Spurs to do so. That was a very bad performance from the Spurs. Very surprising one. I don't have the explanation, but everything worked in the wrong way for Spurs today. And in Fulham's side, it was a fantastic game from the guys. And I want to, because I've been sometimes very critical towards him, I want to say Robinson was absolutely fantastic today.
Anthony Robinson, of course, having an assist in the opening goal there.
Trying to make American friends there, Frank. Is he unlike me?
Opposite to you.
Sure.
Frank's the most patient man in the world, isn't he? I mean, I've just realised he just sat for half an hour listening to us waffling on. That would drive me nuts.
Oh, yes, but Frank has a different mentality to life.
I'm not sure.
Than you. He's very...
But that's you know, peaks and troughs, I suppose, for Tottenham. But it's a surprise, that, isn't it? And a little bit of a wake-up call about finishing the season strongly. Obviously, Van de Ven's missing again.
But apart from that, you can't point at many other players that are injured and missing.
Absolutely not. And this looks to me on the face of it is just not a particularly good performance. Don't forget they lost at Fulham in the Carabao Cup early in the season, but he did make a lot of changes. Yeah, he kind of...
that's a silly comparison.
He kind of mailed it in. It's not it's just a comparison, right? You are skating on thin ice, with the term be told. But yeah, it's a surprise, and there's a lot of work for Tottenham to do. And I know Tottenham fans will probably get frustrated, but it's been an enjoyable season for them. See where it finishes. Maybe it'll be the top four, maybe it'll not. But you do feel there is a lot of work to do there. But I tell you what, I thought Fulham at the start of the season they were struggling a little bit. There was a lot of talk about Marco Silva in the summer going to Saudi Arabia for this big payday, and you kind of wondered, have they taken their eye off the ball a little bit? But talking about working within the budgetary constraints that some people have, the job he's done at Fulham has been, you know, bearing in mind the amount of money they're spending, has been quite incredible.
Have the recent results of Villa and Spurs opened the door a little bit?
For Man United?
For Manchester
United? No, because if you had half a brain in your head, you'd have looked at that table, you would have seen there was a 17-plus goal difference, which takes it from 7 points, 6 points to 7 points.
Yeah, that's very true.
So I just don't... And look, will Tottenham and Villa drop points between now and the season? Of course they will. But you may have noticed Man United are not the most consistent team in the planet.
If you're United, you're clinging to the fact that they both have to play everybody top three.
Yes.
But, you know, again, you are asking favours of somebody else and relying on maybe a bit of an Aston Villa collapse between now and the end of the season, some more of this type of inconsistency from Spurs. That's not a great place to be in, but that's where you are right now.
If England get the 5th spot...
But it looks like they will, won't they?
Yes. All right.
What do you mean, all right?
It's not... If they get that 5th spot and Man United get into 5th and gain a Champions League place because of that, for me, that should not save him. That backdoor entry should not save him, because there have been too many inconsistencies this season in his team selection and the way his team have played. So that's... If people are hanging on to that, and indeed if he's hanging on to that, surely to God, the new investment from Ineos the ambition has to be higher than what they've seen at the moment. So, yeah, I mean, people may say, well, if he gets the 5th spot in the Champions League, forget that. Forget that. That's not going to save him. They have not been good enough for him to survive this season, whether they get 5th or not. I don't think they will, but don't use that as a barometer for trying to say, oh, the season's not been that bad. In terms of the league, it's been pretty awful for Man United.
Villa and Spurs still head and shoulders above Manchester United when it comes to those chances of qualifying for the Champions League, yeah, Frank?
Yes. I'm with the guys. I don't think Man United was going to catch them, any of them. I think it's going to be between the Villains and Spurs, and it's quite impossible. As Craig mentioned, the inconsistency of Manchester United make them unable to catch, for me, Aston Villa and Tottenham, and they don't deserve that. I mean, Manchester United is a bigger club, that's for sure, than the two others. But with the season that they had so far, they don't deserve to be in the first 5.
Frank will be back with us for extra time. There were other Premier League matches as well today, significant ones when it comes to the battle for safety. Brentford are just getting dragged into this relegation strap at very much the wrong end of the season. Burnley would beat them by 2-1 elsewhere. A late equaliser for Luton would see them grab a point against Nottingham Forest, which doesn't really help either side.